Hello, this is Professor Capron. Welcome to this presentation on Principles of Growth and Development. This is for my students in Fundamentals of Nursing for Module 10. Please reference your Taylor's Fundamentals of Nursing, chapters 22, 23, and 24, and your ATI Fundamentals of Nursing book, chapters 18 through 25. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to summarize basic principles of growth and development, describe the process of growth and development and its characteristics, and discuss various factors influencing growth and development. Please pause the video and take some time to make sure you understand these key terms and their definitions. Growth and development have a significant genetic component. Each individual's physical development is largely influenced by their genetic inheritance patterns. Genes are segments of DNA that carry the instructions for making proteins, which are essential for the structure, function, and regulation of the body's cells, tissues, and organs. Genetic inheritance patterns refer to how traits and conditions are passed from parents to offspring through genes. For example, if both parents have a recessive gene for a particular condition, there is a higher chance that their child will inherit that condition. Genes can influence a wide range of characteristics, from eye color to susceptibility to certain diseases. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, which are structures that hold our genes. Sometimes there can be abnormalities in the number or structure of chromosomes, which can impact growth and development. For example, Down syndrome is caused by an extra copy of chromosome 21. Chromosomal abnormalities can lead to various physical and developmental challenges. While genetics play a crucial role in growth and development, environmental and psychosocial factors are equally important. These factors can either support or hinder a child's growth and development. The family is the first social environment that a child interacts with, and it plays a pivotal role in their development. Supportive family relationships can foster a sense of security and self-worth, encouraging healthy emotional and social development. Conversely, family conflict, neglect, or abuse can lead to developmental delays and emotional issues. Socioeconomic status encompasses income, education, and occupation, and significantly impacts access to resources such as nutritious food, healthcare, and educational opportunities. Children with higher SES backgrounds often have better developmental outcomes due to greater access to these resources. Conversely, children from lower socioeconomic status backgrounds may face more challenges, including malnutrition, limited access to healthcare, and fewer educational opportunities. Culture shapes many aspects of growth and development, including values, behaviors, and expectations. Different cultures prioritize different developmental milestones and have unique child rearing practices. Understanding a child's cultural background is crucial for providing appropriate support and intervention. For instance, some cultures may emphasize communal living and collective success, while others may prioritize individual achievement and independence. Understanding these basic principles is essential for supporting healthy growth and development. Recognizing the interplay between genetic and environmental factors allows for a comprehensive approach to care. By acknowledging the role of family, socioeconomic status, and cultural background, it becomes possible to tailor interventions that meet the unique needs of each individual, promoting optimal developmental outcomes. For instance, interventions can be designed to provide additional support to families with low socioeconomic status, ensuring that children have access to nutritious food and health care. Remember, respecting and incorporating cultural practice in care plans can also enhance their effectiveness and acceptance by the family. Growth and development occur in an orderly and sequential manner. This means that they follow a predictable pattern where certain stages and milestones are typically reached in a specific order. Most infants will sit up before they begin to crawl, and they will crawl before they start to walk. This predictability helps in monitoring and supporting growth, as it allows for the identification of any deviations from the expected pattern that might indicate developmental delays or health issues. Understanding this predictable nature of growth helps us to anticipate developmental needs and provide timely interventions if necessary. It also aids in setting realistic expectations for parents and caregivers about what to expect at each stage of development. Growth and development are dynamic and continuous processes that begin at conception and continue all the way through adulthood. This means that they involve ongoing changes and adaptations in response to both internal and external factors. These changes are not just physical, but also include cognitive, emotional, and social aspects. For instance, from birth to adolescence, children undergo significant physical growth, such as increases in height and weight, as well as cognitive advancements like language acquisition and problem solving abilities. Psychosocial development, such as forming relationships and developing a sense of identity, also continues to evolve. Recognizing that growth and development are continuous processes emphasizes the need for consistent and ongoing support and intervention at every stage as needed. This perspective helps in understanding that development is not static, it's a series of interconnected changes that build upon one another. Developmental milestones are key skills and behaviors that are typically achieved at certain ages. These milestones can be categorized into three main areas: physical, cognitive, and psychosocial. Physical milestones includes activities like rolling over, sitting up, walking, and talking. Physical milestones are often the most noticeable and can be easily tracked. For example, most children begin to walk independently between 9 and 18 months. Cognitive milestones involve the development of thinking, problem solving, and learning skills. Examples include recognizing familiar faces, learning new words, and understanding cause and effect relationships. For instance, by the age of 2, most children can follow simple instructions and begin to engage in pretend play. Psychosocial milestones relate to a child's ability to interact with others, form relationships, and develop a sense of self. This includes behaviors like smiling at others, showing empathy, and establishing friendships. For example, around the age of 3, children start to engage in cooperative play with peers. Tracking these developmental milestones helps in assessing whether a child is progressing typically and can highlight areas where additional support might be needed. It also provides a framework for evaluating the overall health and development of an individual, ensuring that all aspects of growth are being monitored. So, in summary, growth and development are predictable, dynamic, and continuous processes that involve milestones across different domains. By understanding these characteristics, we can provide better support and interventions tailored to the specific needs of each developmental stage. This comprehensive approach helps to foster healthy development and address any issues promptly. Let's take a closer look at some of the factors that influence growth and development. Genetic heredity refers to traits and conditions that are inherited from parents through genes. These include physical characteristics like eye color, height, and potential for certain diseases. Genetic disorders such as cystic fibrosis or sickle cell anemia are also inherited and can significantly impact growth and development. Genes carry the instructions for the development and functioning of the body, so variations or mutations in these genes can lead to developmental differences or health issues. Prenatal factors include the health, nutrition, and environment of the mother during pregnancy. Maternal health issues like hypertension or diabetes, poor nutrition, and exposure to toxins such as alcohol, drugs, or environmental pollutants can affect fetal development. Adequate maternal nutrition provides the essential nutrients required for fetal growth, while exposure to harmful substances can lead to birth defects, pre-birth, or low birth weight. Individual factors encompass personality traits and intrinsic motivation. Each child is born with a unique set of characteristics, including temperament, which influences how they interact with their environment, and intrinsic motivation, which drives a child's desire to learn and achieve developmental milestones. For example, a child's curiosity and eagerness to explore their surroundings can accelerate cognitive and motor development. Caregiver factors include parenting style and the level of family support. Positive and responsive caregiving promotes secure attachment, emotional regulation, and social skills. Authoritative parenting, which combines warmth with structure, is often associated with the best developmental outcomes. Neglect or inconsistent caregiving can lead to developmental delays and emotional problems. The environment plays a significant role in growth and development. Factors such as housing conditions, access to education, and community resources can either support or hinder a child's development. Safe and stimulating environments provide opportunities for learning and social interaction, which are critical for cognitive and social development. Nutrition is fundamental to growth and development. A balanced diet that includes essential vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fats supports physical growth, brain development, and overall health. Malnutrition or imbalanced diets can lead to developmental delays, stunted growth, and increased susceptibility to infections. The health or illness state of a child, including the presence of chronic illnesses and access to health care, significantly influences development. Chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, or congenital heart defects require ongoing medical management and can affect a child's physical, cognitive, and emotional development. Access to healthcare ensures timely interventions, routine checkups, and vaccinations, all of which are critical for maintaining health and preventing illnesses. Culture encompasses the beliefs, practices, and values that shape an individual's development. Cultural background influences parenting practices, dietary habits, health beliefs, and the importance of education and social interactions. For example, some cultures may prioritize collective family goals over individual achievements, which affects how children are encouraged to develop their social skills and their independence. So remember that multiple factors influence growth and development, including genetic, prenatal, individual, caregiver, environmental, nutritional, health, and cultural factors. A holistic approach that considers all of these elements is essential for promoting optimal development and addressing any issues that arise promptly and effectively. Growth and development are influenced by both genetic and environmental factors. This gene environment interaction refers to the way that genes and environmental factors work together to shape an individual's development. It's not just that genes set the stage for development. Environmental factors can influence how these genetic potentials are expressed. For example, a child might have a genetic predisposition for high intelligence, but if they grow up in an environment without access to education or intellectual stimulation, their potential may not be fully realized. Conversely, a supportive environment can help individuals to overcome genetic vulnerabilities. Epigenetic changes involve environmental influences that alter the way genes are expressed without changing the underlying DNA sequence. These changes can turn genes on or off and affect how cells read genes. Environmental factors like diet, stress, and exposure to toxins can cause epigenetic modifications that influence growth and development. For instance, if a pregnant woman experiences high levels of stress, it can lead to epigenetic changes in the fetus that might increase the child's risk for developing mental health issues later in life. Similarly, proper nutrition can positively impact gene expression related to growth and development. Nutrition is a prime example of how environmental factors can influence genetic potential. Adequate nutrition provides the essential nutrients needed for the growth and development of the body and brain. For example, a child with a genetic predisposition for tall stature may not reach their potential height if they experience malnutrition during critical growth periods. Nutritional deficiencies can also lead to conditions like stunted growth, weakened immune systems, and cognitive impairments. Conversely, balanced diet rich in essential nutrients supports healthy growth and helps to mitigate genetic risks. Stress is another environmental factor that can significantly impact development. Chronic stress can alter the expression of genes involved in the body's stress response, leading to long term effects on health and development. For example, children who grow up in high stress environments may have heightened stress responses, making them more susceptible to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. Moreover, stress can impair cognitive functions, such as memory and learning, by affecting brain development. This demonstrates how an adverse environment can influence genetic expression and developmental outcomes. So, the gene environment interactions and epigenetic changes illustrate this complex interplay between genetics and the environment in shaping growth and development. Milestones are specific skills or behaviors that most children can do by a certain age. Identifying these milestones is crucial because they help to track normal development and detect potential delays early. Milestones provide a framework for understanding how children typically develop over time. For example, most children begin to crawl around 6 to 10 months and walk by 12 to 15 months. These benchmarks allow for the monitoring of a child's growth and development. If a child reaches these milestones on time, it indicates that their development is proceeding normally. Early identification of developmental delays is essential for timely intervention. By monitoring whether a child reaches specific milestones within the expected time frame, it becomes easier to identify potential issues early on. For instance, if a child is not walking by 18 months, it may signal a delay that requires further evaluation and possibly early intervention services. Early detection and intervention can significantly improve outcomes by addressing issues before they become more pronounced. Milestones are typically categorized into three main types: physical, cognitive, and social emotional. Each type represents a different aspect of development and provides a comprehensive picture of a child's growth. Physical milestones involve the development of motor skills as well as growth in height and weight. Motor skills include both gross motor skills like sitting, crawling, walking, and running, and fine motor skills such as grasping objects, stacking blocks, and drawing. These skills are critical for a child's independent interaction with their environment. Regular monitoring of a child's growth in height and weight ensures that they are growing at a healthy rate. Deviations from normal growth patterns can indicate nutritional issues or health problems that need to be addressed. Cognitive milestones refer to the development of thinking, problem solving, and language skills. Language includes understanding and producing speech, such as babbling, saying first words, and forming sentences. Language development is critical for communication and social interaction. Cognitive development involves the ability to think, understand concepts, and solve problems. Examples include shapes and colors, understanding cause and effect, and developing memory skills. Social and emotional milestones involve the development of interpersonal skills and emotional regulation. Interpersonal skills include the ability to form relationships, play with others, and develop social skills like sharing and empathy. Social interactions are crucial for building relationships and functioning in society. Emotional regulation involves the ability to understand and manage emotions, such as recognizing feelings, coping with frustration, and developing self control. Emotional regulation is essential for mental health and well being. Milestones are vital indicators of a child's development across physical, cognitive, and social emotional domains. By regularly tracking and identifying these milestones, it's possible to ensure that children are developing normally and to detect and address any developmental delays early. Now let's look at applying everything we've learned to our nursing practice. Regular monitoring of a child's growth and development is crucial for ensuring that they are meeting expected milestones. This process involves routine health checkups where measurements of height, weight, and head circumference are taken and plotted on growth charts. These charts help to track a child's growth pattern over time and identify any deviations that might indicate a health issue. In addition to physical measurements, developmental screenings assess cognitive, social, and emotional milestones. Tools like the Ages and Stages questionnaire or the Denver Developmental Screening Test can be used to evaluate if a child is developing typically for their age. If a child is not meeting milestones, it might signal developmental delays or disorders that require further assessment and intervention. Tailoring care to the specific developmental stage of the child involves providing age appropriate support and interventions. For infants, this might involve encouraging activities that promote motor skills, like tummy time. For toddlers, it could involve promoting language development through reading and interactive play. As children grow older, interventions may focus on supporting academic skills and social interactions. For example, if a toddler shows signs of delayed speech, speech therapy might be recommended. Similarly, if a school age child is struggling with social interactions, a referral to a child psychologist for social skills training might be necessary. Supporting parents and caregivers is essential for the healthy development of a child. This support can include educating them about developmental milestones, teaching them how to engage in activities that promote growth, and providing resources for any developmental concerns. For instance, demonstrating how to create a safe play environment for toddlers or advising on effective discipline strategies for preschoolers. Support also means addressing parental concerns and providing reassurance or referrals when necessary. This might involve connecting families with community resources, such as early intervention programs, support groups, or specialized healthcare services. Educating families about what to expect at each stage of development helps them to understand typical growth patterns and recognize signs of potential issues early. This education can include information about physical milestones like walking and talking, cognitive milestones such as problem solving abilities, and social emotional milestones like forming friendships and managing emotions. Providing families with this knowledge empowers them to monitor their child's development actively and seek help if they notice any concerns. It also helps to set realistic expectations, reducing anxiety and promoting a supportive environment. Promoting healthy lifestyle choices is another key aspect of supporting child development. This includes educating families on the importance of a balanced diet, regular physical activity, sufficient sleep, and limiting screen time. For example, advising on nutritional needs at different ages, suggesting fun physical activities that the whole family can enjoy, and setting routines that ensure adequate sleep. Healthy lifestyle choices are foundational to overall health and well being, influencing physical growth, cognitive development, and emotional health. Encouraging families to adopt and maintain these habits supports the child's development and establishes a foundation for lifelong health. So, applying these principles to your nursing practice involves regular assessment of growth and development, tailoring interventions for the child's developmental stage, supporting parents and caregivers, and educating families about development expectations and healthy lifestyle choices. Let's quickly review the key points we've covered in this presentation on growth and development. We began by discussing the fundamental principles of growth and development. These principles highlight that growth and development are orderly and sequential processes, meaning they follow a predictable pattern. For example, children typically sit before they crawl and crawl before they walk. This sequential nature helps in tracking developmental progress. Additionally, we emphasize that growth and development are dynamic and continuous. They start at conception and continue throughout a person's life, encompassing physical, cognitive, social, and emotional changes. Understanding these principles is crucial for providing appropriate care and interventions at each developmental stage. Next, we explored the various factors that influence growth and development, including genetic heredity, prenatal factors, individual factors, caregiver factors, environment, nutrition, health, illness state, and culture. Remember, genetic heredity involves inherited traits, genetic disorders that impact development. Prenatal factors encompasses maternal health, nutrition, and exposure to toxins, which can affect fetal growth. Individual factors like personality traits and intrinsic motivation influence how children interact with their environment. Caregiver factors such as parenting style and family support play a crucial role in emotional and social development. Environmental factors include housing conditions, access to education, and community resources that can support or hinder development. Nutrition is fundamental, as a balanced diet supports physical growth and brain development. Health illness state highlights the impact of chronic illness and access to healthcare on development. Culture influences developmental practices and expectations, shaping a child's growth environment. Understanding these factors allows for a comprehensive approach to supporting healthy development, ensuring that all aspects of a child's environment and biology are considered. Finally, we discuss the importance of developmental milestones in assessing a child's growth. Remember that milestones are specific skills or behaviors typically achieved by certain ages, such as walking, talking, or problem solving. Identifying these milestones helps to track normal development and detect any delays early. For instance, if a child is not walking by months, it might indicate a developmental delay that needs further evaluation. Early detection allows for timely interventions, which can significantly improve outcomes. Milestones are categorized into physical, cognitive, and social emotional domains, with physical milestones including motor skills, height, and weight. Cognitive milestones, which encompass language development and problem solving abilities, and social emotional milestones, which involve interpersonal skills and emotional regulation. Tracking these milestones provides a comprehensive picture of a child's development, helping to ensure they receive the support they need at each stage. So, in conclusion, understanding these principles of growth and development, the factors that influence them, and the importance of milestones is essential for providing comprehensive care. This knowledge enables us to support children effectively, ensuring that they reach their full potential. By regularly monitoring development, Tailoring interventions to individual needs and educating families, we can promote healthy growth and address any issues early on. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions or need further clarification on any of the topics I've covered here, please feel free to reach out and ask.